Hey guys, EC Network here, coming at you with another video. August 28th was the day that Cartoon Network lost an additional 2 hours of airtime, now ending at 5 p.m. as opposed to the 7 p.m. that it used to conclude at, turning on to Adult Swim at that time, and this was all in favor of introducing the new classics block Checkered Past, which goes on from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday, and in my opinion has been a roaring success. In a recent video, I discussed how I think the block needs to be expanded upon, make it from 5 to 10 or 5 to 9 or even from 6 to 10, make it a 4 or 5 hour block every day, Monday through Friday. If you want to hear me go in depth on that topic, I'll leave a card above to that video. But what I wanted to talk about today is Cartoon Network's Saturday schedule, rather Adult Swim Saturday schedule, because it's pretty abysmal at the moment. Once Cartoon Network ends at 5 p.m., it switches over to Adult Swim, which for some reason doesn't have a Checkered Past block on Saturdays. Instead of signing on at 5 p.m. to Checkered Past, you're signing on Adult Swim at 5 p.m. to watch 2 hours of King of the Hill, which is then followed by 2 hours of Bob's Burgers, which is then followed by 2 hours of American Dad with an hour of Rick and Morty until Toonami starts at midnight. In my opinion, this really doesn't make all that much sense to me. It doesn't make sense why we're just airing reruns of these 3 shows in American Dad, Bob's Burger, and King of the Hill for basically 6 hours of airtime. It to me seems like a waste of space, a waste of time on the channel. If you want to air them for an hour each, go ahead. But I feel like 6 hours of airtime, 2 hours to each show, just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, especially when you have this new Checkered Past block with all these other Cartoon Network classics that you could be airing in addition to the ones that you aired during the week. Now, there are a few ways they could fix this, in my opinion. As I just alluded to, they could just, make a Checkered Past block on Saturday nights as well, expand it to Saturday. I don't know why it's Monday through Friday and then Saturday is just kind of emptiness right now. They could expand it. They could have the same shows air that air during the week, or they could add other shows to the schedule. Maybe Adventure Time, regular show, Chowder, Steven Universe, shows like that, shows that currently aren't on Cartoon Network. Another thing that they could also do, and I think they should do, is they should expand upon Toonami. I haven't watched Toonami in probably, I want to say, a good 5 or so years. I haven't watched it since around maybe 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. I used to watch Toonami every Saturday night when they had Megalobox on, along with Dragon Ball Super, even Boruto and shows like that when they were on the channel, or rather the block Toonami. I even watched it obviously, back in 2017 when we had Samurai Jack Season 5. Those were all the shows airing around that, 2 to 3 year period, and I enjoyed watching Toonami at that time. But one thing that I noticed is it was a lot earlier back then. I remember watching Dragon Ball Super at around 10 o'clock at night. Then they pushed it back, I remember, to 11. Then they pushed it back to like midnight, somewhere around there. My time frames might be a little bit off because it's been, a good 5, 6, 7 years since that originally aired on Adult Swim on Toonami. But nevertheless, I don't necessarily understand why Toonami now starts at midnight. And the thing is as well, is Toonami's block ends earlier than it used to as well. It's a very short block. So it starts at midnight with FLC Grunge. Then at 12:30 you have One Piece until 1:30 when Naruto Shippuden comes on. At 2:30 a.m. you have My Hero Academia. Then at 3 a.m. Ball Masters 9009. And then 3:30 The Venture Bros comes on. And then 4 o'clock Futurama for King of the Hill to come back at 5 until Cartoon Network is on again at 6. That's a significantly smaller Toonami block than we've had in a long time, and I kind of just wonder why. Animes are booming right now. There are a ton of animes that are widely successful and widely popular. It's kind of a head scratcher in my opinion as to why Toonami's block is so short. They're only airing FLCL, One Piece, Naruto Shippuden, My Hero Academia, and Ball Masters. I don't really understand why there aren't any other shows on. Actually, is Ball Masters even a part of Toonami? I'm looking at it right now, and I don't think it is. And if it's not, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because I am not familiar with the show. But either way, Toonami either ends at 3 a.m. or 3:30, and it starts at midnight. So it's only a 3 hour to 3.5 hour block. And like I said before, back in the day, not even that long ago, that far in the past, back in like 2018, 2019, 2020, Toonami was starting a lot earlier. It was ending at like 4 or 5 in the morning, so I kind of am a bit confused as to why the block is so short right now. I'm assuming that at some point in the future, it will be expanded upon, because we know that Warner Brothers Discovery has an anime and action department within their company, within their animation space. So I would presume that once they start to produce more animes, they will expand upon Toonami once again. But as for right now, we have, Bob's Burgers, American Dad, and King of the Hill, each taking up 2 hours of airtime on a Saturday night, and I've never been a fan of any of those series. I did watch American Dad a little bit at one point, but I never really liked it. It was more so that I was just forced into watching it because there was nothing else on Cartoon Network / Adult Swim. Like I said, I feel like the time on the air time would be better suited with Checkered Past on, either the same schedule or the same shows that are on Monday through Friday, or a different variety. And then as for Toonami, expand the block. We don't need 6 hours of airtime, and technically speaking it's 7 hours because 5 a.m. King of the Hill comes on again. We don't need 7 hours on Saturdays taken up by those 3 series that I mentioned before. Expand upon Toonami, expand upon Checkered Past, make the schedule good on Saturdays, because right now it really isn't good. It's not great at all. And my one thing I will say before signing off this video is I'm a little bit concerned for Toonami that it has that short of a block now. I don't know when this change happened, because as I said before, I haven't watched it in a few years, but I know when all of the issues were happening last year with Warner Brothers Discovery and all these shows were being canceled and whatnot, they did say that Toonami wasn't going to go anywhere, so I'm going to take them for their word, but it certainly seems like it's not at its strongest right now, given that there's not that much airing and it's only 3.5 hours long. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think about Cartoon Network's Saturday schedule right now, and do you agree with me that it kind of sucks once the channel signs off at 5 p.m? It's just a bunch of nothingness until Toonami comes on. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.